Hey y'all, this is Chelsea Nolasco,
And Eric Nolasco.
and this is Breaking Barriers.
This is going to be our podcast platform for sharing our story, Gabriel, our son's story, and hosting other people, other families, other children in situations like us, in situations like Gabriel, to help them have a voice and put it out there.
A lot of you guys might follow us on TikTok or on Facebook, Journey by Faith. So some of you guys might already know this story, but it's different than reading it. This time we're here to kind of talk about it and talk about our struggles and the things that make being Gabriel's parents difficult. Everything from advocacy to just our everyday life and the differences between a neurotypical child and a medically complex kid. Our son has what's called 22q11 deletion, also known as complete DeGeorge or complete DeGeorge with congenital athemia.
Congenital athemia consists of lacking a thymus that's located over your heart, and it's basically the schoolhouse of your immune system. So he was born without the schoolhouse, and he has bits and pieces of the immune system, but nothing to teach it how to act, how it's supposed to be.
He was born completely without T cells. He does have some B cells, and he gets G cells from something called immunoglobulin or IVIG.
He's currently battling chronic norovirus,
which is the stomach bug. Like, it's a stomach bug.
It's a common stomach bug that someone that is not immunocompromised would get over in 24 to 48 hours. And he has had it for how long?
Since August
of last year.
Of 2022. And because of that, it has caused heart failure, malabsorption / malnutrition. So he actually currently has a central line, which has caused some complications. And we're currently inpatient with, well, not inpatient, but staying here at the Ronald McDonald House with endocarditis, which all essentially goes back to he caught one virus and it's completely wreaked havoc on his body.
And what caused the endocarditis was, what's it called? That his intestines,
intussusception.
His intestines and all that, and his gut kind of just twisted up, rolled over each other.
No, it did get to it. It telescopes.
Okay.
It telescopes. It does like this, and then it gets locked like that, and then it goes. So it's intussusception.
That's what it is.
Really hard on figuring out how to say that right.
And when that happened, it caused bacteria from his gut. One of them was a normal common bacteria.
Yeah, one of them's you could pick it up anywhere, and they thought originally they thought he just had a line infection because he has no immune system in a central line. Like, that wasn't crazy thinking. But then once we realized one of the bacteria was extremely specific to a kid with a very sick gut, they realized it actually came down to he gave it to himself. So we've been here since we got admitted back again on December 15th. And we have been inpatient from the 15th to the 28th. And then we've been here ever since. So we haven't been home in a while. We spent Christmas in the hospital.
They miss Christmas at home, New Year's at home. We can't let Peter be with them, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, we have definitely. Oh, yes. And your birthday. We cannot forget about that, sir. You don't let anybody forget that, like, 6 years that we've been together.
I don't think have we had one normal birthday for me?
No.
Someone's always been in the hospital.
It was
sick.
It was me or Gabe. Me or Gabe really caused complications. Or my mom. My mom got you one year.
Yeah.
She did TIA.
Yep.
Oh, you're welcome. Happy birthday.
So anyways, those two bacteria got pushed up and got to his heart and into the conduit and valve that he just had replaced 3 months ago, 4 months ago? In October last year. And there's now a vegetation grown on one of the 3 leaflets of the valve that he had replaced.
Also known as a Goomba. They call it a Goomba.
A Goomba?
A Goomba. Yeah. So that was the first thing that they called it, was that they said, and he has a Goomba on his pulmonary artery valve.
Isn't that like one of 6ix9ine songs or something?
I was cracking up. I was like, you gave this the goofiest name and it can totally kill him. And they were like, Yeah, that's what we did. I was like, okay, cool, a Goomba.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, doctors. It's fun. So since being inpatient this time and finding out a little bit more about some other patients that are here at the hospital that we are, I just kind of got this fire for advocacy and awareness and talking about kids with 22q11 and kids that are immunocompromised. I really just got this fire for wanting to help spread awareness. And I was telling Eric about it, and he was like, a podcast. So this is one way. We have a couple other things that we're doing to spread awareness, but it basically comes down to there's just a lack of education for kids like Gabriel. They don't understand isolation. Even doctors, medical staff, they don't understand isolation. They don't understand what it is that we do day to day just to keep our son alive. Like, people hear it, but they don't really see it. And then when we try to enforce our rules, sometimes we get pushback from people. So, the idea was just kind of to come on here, I think, as a family and a couple of parents, and um, just talk about what our life looks like and bring awareness to kids with no immune system, to bubble kids. These are literally bubble boys. And girls. There's girls with complete DiGeorge too, but um, that was kind of our idea that sparked this, was just awareness. And coming up on February 28th is Rare Disease Awareness Day. And we definitely fall into that category. He is 1 in 500,000 kids.
For which?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. When he was in the CICU, somebody described Gabe very simply for us, and I have used it ever since. He said, there's a book on kids with DiGeorge, and then there's about a chapter on kids with complete DiGeorge, and there's maybe a page / a paragraph on kids with his very specific heart defect. And so when he kind of explained it like that, he said, we're doing the best we can, but there's just not a lot of things to read, and there's not a lot to learn, because there's just not a lot of kids that survive very long with complete DiGeorge. Now, though, due to science and a lot of really dedicated doctors and surgeons and researchers, not a lot, but a handful, there actually is hope for them. And we are going to go to North Carolina, hopefully in the next couple of months. We just got approved for the thymus program, and we are definitely going to put way more details into that on another day, because that's a whole nother podcast. But there is only one procedure in the whole country for these kids,
which is also ridiculous.
And again, for another podcast, you can hear our ranting about that. But
there will be several podcasts on the failing healthcare system in the United States, so stick around for that.
Do not put that in there. That is not what this is for.
Yes, it is. It's advocating for kids that are being failed by this healthcare
Yes,
system.
but your advocating is like holding an entire hospital hostage, man.
Sometimes
no,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
No,
it's like the movie John Q. When they wouldn't give his son the heart.
You're not John Q.
I'm John Q.
You're an ex-security guard / ex-EMT that eats too much cake. Like, you're not it.
I had cake once, and like how long?
You ate the whole cake.
Which whole cake?
We ate like half of that German chocolate. That was nasty.
I literally had a sliver of it.
A sliver?
Yes, it was like that
went straight
thick.
To your liver?
Maybe.
Liver to your liver.
So for me, this podcast is everything that she said, and also wanting to be able to help others have a voice. We have felt like we haven't had a voice for almost 4 years now. When we say we have lived in isolation, it's not, oh yeah, we stay at home and clean things. It's we stay at home, sanitize every single thing that comes into our house. The kids are homeschooled. They don't get to hang out at friends. We see my parents every now and again, but we hang out outside. We social distance from them.
My mom was in isolation with us, but her health has gone down the toilet. So she is not really in our safe zone anymore. So it's literally like him and I now.
It's just us.
We don't have like date nights, or, we don't.
No one to watch the kids safely in isolation. And if you're wondering where the kids are right now, they are asleep like 30 feet from us.
I'm texting the oldest now.
and they are supervised by the oldest.
We pay him with like snacks and he gets to
Movie
watch
time.
movie time. Yeah. Good parenting right there.
And that all falls into, again, we are in isolation.
Yeah.
We don't go out. We don't do anything.
We will eventually have on here, like, I'd like to have his best friend and mine come on and talk about like what it's like being friends with the two of us. Cause I think our friendship dynamics have changed a lot. And like, it's not normal. Like, we don't go out to a restaurant and like have chips and queso and a margarita and like hang out. Like, we, we meet in parking lots occasionally
For
and
like
like,
an hour and a half and just stand in the parking lot like
yeah,
weirdos
yeah.
hanging out with our friends.
And like, she'll bring snacks and I'll
Not
bring
at the
snacks.
same time. Like one of
No.
us is home with the
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, it's kind of funny though. Like I asked my friend the other day, I was like, how in the world have we even kept this relationship? And she's like, yeah, it's different.
And that's what I told her. What was it? Last week when I saw Danny.
Yeah.
My best friend since 6th, 7th grade. Grew up together. Hardly see him anymore, especially because of living in isolation, let alone adulting. Um, but I went to I went to my parents for something, pick something up or drop something off.
You were talking to your dad about
Oh, that's for another podcast.
I'm shooting you a face.
So yeah, and
Yeah.
I saw I saw my best friend, and we were in the Southwestern Adventist University College parking lot, hanging out for an hour and a half, just talking, and that was exciting for me
That's
because
exciting.
I got to be out of my house. I got to see my best friend and talk to him, catch up, talk about life, the frustrations of everything going on. You know, I love Chelsea. She is my best friend, but like we're
We've been
human.
besties for 10 years,
Yeah.
man.
We're human. Like
Yeah.
we have other
We like
friends.
other people. Yeah.
Like, and we're
Not
going
like in a weird swinger way or anything.
No. Oh my gosh. Anyways, if you want to see what just happened, you could check out our TikTok, and I'm going to be posting bloopers on there. Check that out.
Please don't.
But back to what I was talking about. We are best friends. I love her to death, but we're going through this together, and it's not easy. It's not fair for me to always vent to her always vent to me. So it's nice to have friends outside of each
Like,
other.
we need somebody else to just kind of dump everything. So I'm in therapy. I use my therapist a lot. Bless her heart. She gets texts from me like ASAP. I need a session, girlfriend. Like, whoa. And then obviously, like, I have friends outside of my therapist. But, you know, it's hard to like, nobody really understands unless you're like in isolation. But then those friends that are in isolation, like, their lives are just as complicated and messy and sticky. So like, you know, yeah, it's hard. It's complicated.
Yeah. That's something else with this podcast is that we want to reach out to other families, especially ones in isolation like us, and interview them, host them, whatever, talk with them, get their experience, get their voice out there. And we can do it safely via a podcast platform because we've got, this is like a 8-10 foot cable. They've got 50-foot cables. We can stretch each other out 25 feet away and not be anywhere near each other and be able to talk to each other.
Okay, but also like a lot of them don't live in Texas or live
Well,
right
that's
here.
also
like,
via the podcast platform is we can Zoom them, talk with them on Discord, put it through OBS and all that fun stuff. And still, same thing, talk with them, get their story out there, and bring awareness to kids like Gabriel and families like ours.
we've had friends and family follow from the very beginning of our story. Eric is absolutely magnificent when he started writing posts back 3 years ago, which we'll definitely talk more in detail about those stories later. But, you know, there's some people that are going to watch and follow that want to, that do already know the base of that story. And they followed us from the very beginning, you know, and we thought he wasn't going to make it 2 days. I mean, all the way back to even when I found out when I was pregnant that we were going to have a special needs kid. You know, so there has been a small community of people. Oh, I know you hate when I say small community.
It's not small. We don't know an exact number, but I know there's at least 1,000 people that have prayed for Gabriel, if not thousands more, because we're never gonna know the number.
Yeah.
It's
But it's cool though, because like his cousin will send me some of the prayers that she receives like written out in Hebrew. And it is just the most beautiful, humbling, like if you've never received something like that, like I just can't explain it. It's
I just want to say for those listening, watching, we are not here to shove God down your throat. We believe in God, and we're going to talk about him because we want to share his love. That's all we want to do. So I just want to throw that little disclaimer out there. That's not what we're here to do. We are here to bring awareness, share love, and help be somebody's voice.
we are hoping with us speaking out and us advocating that people are going to understand a little bit more and maybe appreciate their own kids a little bit more, maybe appreciate the circumstances that they have in their own lives, because I surely didn't know before we had Gabriel that any of this world existed. Like there's an entire world of special needs families, not just DeGeorge families. Like I think most of my friends, other than like my friend I came into all this with, they all have special needs kids, and it's all different stories. It's, kids with, brain abnormalities and genetic stuff, and other kids like DeGeorge in itself is a spectrum. I have friends with kids that are autistic, but there's this whole world of special needs parenting that, well, I don't even like to call it special needs parenting. I call it special abilities, because these kids are all spectacular and wonderful. And, there's just not enough light on them. And not enough people know that this world that we've just dove into, that it even exists. So
Even, both of us were EMTs, and I'm sure you feel the same way. All the medical stuff we did know,
I feel like we didn't
this world
know.
was like under this veil that we dealt with special needs and autistic and all that in the field, but
It's different.
it's different now that we're actually in it.
And it's also different, like being that we were like EMTs, even though mine was a very short-lived experience. I have not experienced nearly what he has.
She
Don't
doesn't know
you?
how to drive.
No, I had a toxic boyfriend. That's what happened to me.
Yeah, it's a good thing I got you to leave him.
You were sick. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope that you stick around and share so you can help advocate for Gabe and share Gabe's story and everyone else that we plan on having on here.
For those of you watching this with the video, we will be posting this as well on, I think, like Podbean. I'm going to look in to see what the audio only podcast format options are for posting right now. For those of you listening on those options of Podbean or whatever these options are, we're also
To be determined.
yeah, we are also for sure on YouTube. We do have a Facebook page. And yes, we have a TikTok.
We never post to it.
I'm going to start now. I've got a lot of content from today that is like the serious stuff that I'm going to post, and then bloopers. So I'm good for TikTok.
I'm not a serious person. I can't. I'm not serious.
But we do appreciate y'all being here.
Yeah, thank you a lot. We really appreciate it.
And we hope to make this a once a week episode type deal for now. We'll see how that goes with everything going on with Gabe and our life.
There's a lot.
We want to thank the Ronald McDonald House for everything that they have done for us, from letting them stay here, the room, even they've had issues with their room, let me tell you. But the Ronald McDonald House staff have been amazing at getting them what they need, trying to get them into another suite. They had pipes burst or something.
Yeah, it was like the day before Christmas Eve.
Them coming here happened right after there was water damage from pipes bursting because of the hard freeze we went through. And to letting us use this room, and basically they told us, the family rooms, any of those rooms, for us to be able to use them do this podcast while we're here, making a sign for us, telling people to stay out. We're filming, recording. They're just amazing, awesome people.
Yeah, everyone from the second you walk in the door to all the way up to management that we've met have been very accommodating. I mean, we've seen them over the last 3.5 years, and we've stayed here over the last 3.5 years several times. This is the first time we've come with Gabe, so it came with it's very different to have your bubble baby here and around other people. And we can't go to the dining room and eat, so we did need the suite, because we can't just take him to go eat in a room full of other people. So they've just been really kind, and absolutely shown us a lot of love and a lot of appreciation. And I don't think we can ever truly thank them enough for everything that they've done the last few weeks or
We
few
cannot.
years.
One other thing, the communication, what is she called? The chief communications officer. Well, sounds like a CIA title.
Yeah, that makes her sound like I don't know,
She's
Martha.
like, she's
Martha?
Martha.
Martha. I don't
She's
know.
the communications. I believe she's the manager. She does the social media stuff. And that doesn't do her job justice to call it social media stuff.
No, she's amazing.
Yeah, she reached out to a friend of hers that I messaged on Discord, waiting to hear back from, but told her that we were wanting to start this podcast, and I only had this mic. I bought a bundle package, anyways. She sent this microphone to us at the Ronald McDonald House for us to have a second mic, and that's why it's on the boom for her, because she doesn't know what she's doing.
Rude.
That was originally for this mic, and we were just going to share this mic, but that just goes to show how amazing people on this earth can be, and that we can show each other love and empathy and be there for one another. And we feel like it is now our turn. So if you're listening, if you are watching, and you have one of these rare children that were placed on this earth, if you live in isolation, please reach out to us.
If you have an immune compromised kid, a heart patient, anything in that realm of things, and you feel like you are completely by yourself in it, you are not. Please reach out to us. We absolutely love talking to people. We love talking to people that maybe are learning how to do isolation because they are an early diagnosis, or even cancer kiddos and everything that they go through. It's similar. It's different, but it's similar.
And if you're comfortable with it, we would love to have you on the podcast with us. You don't need anything fancy. We can FaceTime, we can Zoom call, talk on Discord, and I'll take care of the rest. We just want to talk with you.
We love hearing other people's stories. We love hearing the other journeys that other people go through. It really does give you a sense of, I guess,
You're not alone.
Yeah, not alone, in a simple kind of normalcy, I guess. Like it's weird.
It does make us feel normal when we meet
Yeah.
someone that lives in semi-isolation or something similar to our situation.
Or like understand the importance of wearing masks or sanitizing your groceries, or like, kids play from a distance. Like, it's nice to meet people that are similar in any way to us. It's kind of cool.
So we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Make sure that you hit that follow, subscribe, whatever platform you are watching or listening on, to continue on us with our journey of our story, Gabe's story, and advocacy for children like Gabe.
Thanks for tuning in to Breaking Barriers.